Hello everyone. Today's topic is metal carbonyls and stability of coordination compounds. This is the last part of this chapter. What are metal carbonyls? Metal carbonyls are actually the compounds in which the central metal atom is bonded with carbonyl, carbon monoxide, acting as ligand. These metal carbonyls, they can be classified into two categories, that is mononuclear carbonyls and polynuclear carbonyls. Mononuclear carbonyls means there will be one central metal atom and then the rest ligands will be attached to this. But in polynuclear carbonyls, there may be more than one central metal atoms. Okay, for example, first of all, mononuclear carbonyls. Mononuclear carbonyls, they will have central metal atom. This white one is the central metal atom and it is bonded with 4 tetrahedrally bonded ligands. So this is a tetrahedral complex in which central metal atom is bonded to 4 carbonyl groups acting as ligands. The examples of mononuclear carbonyls, for example, one is tetracarbonyl nickel 0. As we know that the oxidation state of central metal atom in mononuclear carbonyl is always 0. Then pentacarbonyl iron. Now for this tetracarbonyl nickel, the geometry is tetrahedral. Whereas for pentacarbonyl, it will be trigonal bipyramidal. These 3, 1, 2, 3, they will be forming that triangle and 2 are pointed upward and downward. So it will be trigonal bipyramidal. Then for octahedral carbonyl, it's hexacarbonyl chromium 0. And one more example is hexacarbonyl tungsten 0. So these are, in these all complexes, there is only one central metal atom and rest it is surrounded by the ligands, that is having coordination number 4. This one has coordination number 5 and this one is having coordination number 6, as well as the last one has coordination number 6. Okay. Then polynuclear carbonyls. Polynuclear carbonyls means there will be more than one central metal atoms, right? In this case, the two examples are there. One is decacarbonyl dimanganese. Decacarbonyl, that means 10 ligands are there and these are present around the manganese, 2 atoms of manganese which are acting as central metal atoms, as you can see in this picture. Or this one, manganese 1 and the another one, and then 10 CO species or carbonyl atoms, they are bonded with these 2 manganese atoms, or resulting in the formation of complexes. Then another example is octacarbonyl dicobalt. Again, the oxidation state of the central atom is always 0 in carbonyls. Now in this case, it's octacarbonyl dicobalt. So central metal atom is cobalt. Don't get confused between carbonyl. In carbonyl, both the carbon and oxygen, they are capital, whereas in cobalt, C is capital, O is small. So 2 central metal atoms are there and then rest carbonyls, they are bonded with each other. Okay. So it will be octacarbonyl dicobalt. So these are polynuclear carbonyls. Now the next part is bonding in metal carbonyls. This is very important part. Metal carbonyls, they are bonded with these complexes, they contain special type of bonding. And this bonding is actually known as synergic bonding. That is, there is partially double bond character between the bonds are formed, they are multiple bonds. For example, if we analyze this, in general, ligands, they tend to give electrons to the central metal atom, because central metal atom has vacated the orbitals as per that VBT theory we have discussed. So that means these ligands, they will donate the electron and they will form the bond. This is one-way process. But in metal carbonyls, as you can see in this first, this is the orbital representation of metal carbonyl complex. This is central metal atom. It has empty orbitals, right? This one is vacant orbital of the central metal atom, and this one, these are the filled orbitals which contain electrons, right? Now what happens on the right hand side, it's carbon monoxide molecule or ligand. Generally this ligand, that is carbon, its electrons, pair of electron, they will form a sigma bond with the vacant d orbital of central metal atom, right, resulting in the formation of sigma bond. This is commonly taking place in other complexes also, but the main thing about metal carbonyls, about this synergic bonding, is that the empty orbitals of the carbon monoxide, this is pi star empty orbital. Carbon monoxide or carbonyl, as per molecular orbital theory. Okay, for molecular orbital theory, how many electrons are there? 6 electrons are present in carbon and 8 in oxygen. So total number of electrons are 14. Now if we have to write the molecular orbital electronic configuration for this, so it will be sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, bonding and anti-bonding, I hope you remember. Then sigma 2s2, then sigma star 2s2. Then after that it's pi 2px2 equals to pi 2 pi 2py2, and then sigma 2pz2. So how many electrons are there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And apart from this, then there will be pi star 2px equals to pi star 2py, and finally sigma star 2pz. This is the orbital representation, electronic configuration that we fill up. So now it contains these filled orbitals, right? This we are talking about carbon monoxide. Okay, and it has pi star 2px and pi star 2py orbitals vacant. Okay, so what happens in this case, as you can see, these are those vacant pi star 2px and pi star 2py orbitals, or we can say these are pi star orbitals, right? And these are the pi orbitals of central metal atom. Now what happens, this bond is formed, this is sigma bond. Now what happens, there is back bonding, that is metal, these paired electron, as you can see in this, there are 2 electrons in this, they get overlapped sidewise with the empty pi star orbitals of the carbonyl. Okay, so then they're resulting in the formation of pi bonds. So this is sigma bond, and then these are pi bonds. So there is a double bond character. Okay, that's why we say. So this was the orbital, this is similar to this orbital, is similar to this is pi star. So there is a special kind of effect that is called as synergic effect, or we call such bonding as synergic bonding, which is very, very important in carbonyl compounds. Okay, this is shown. Again, you can see this is back bonding, and this one is proper sigma bond that is formed between metal complex and central metal atom and the carbon. This effect is known as synergic effect, and as a result there will be double bond character between metal and carbon. Now the next part is stability of coordination compounds. Stability of coordination compounds can be analyzed on the basis of stability constant, that we call as equilibrium constant, already studied in +1. Let us take into consideration that there is central metal atom M, and there are n number of ligands. N is coordination number. and it results in the formation of a complex that is ML n times, right? For this we have to predict the stability constant. Now in this case, M is the central metal atom or ion, N stands for coordination number. It may be 4, it may be 6, it may be 5 depending on the compound, and then it gives or results in the formation of complex where L stands for ligand, right? Now applying that law of mass action for this expression, so we can write value of K. K can be written as, equilibrium constant can be written as the it is the product of concentration, molar concentration or active masses of the product to that of active masses of reactants, product of active masses of reactants. So on the productant side there was complex formation, whereas on the reactant side it is M plus N moles of L, right? So K is called as formation equilibrium constant for this complex. Now remember that greater the value of this stability constant, higher the value of stability constant, greater is the stability of the complex. Okay, so it is directly proportional to stability. Now we know that this stability constant K, or we call it as equilibrium constant K, is directly proportional to stability of the complex. Now if we take reciprocal of this, that is K dash, that is 1 by K. So this 1 by K or K dash is known as instability constant or the dissociation constant, as there will be dissociation of the species. Okay. Now another example, if we try to form a complex, right, by substituting number of water molecules through ligand L, then what will be the stability constant? Okay, so H2O n times is the complex, and then we treat it with, or we go on adding ligand to this. So what will happen? Water molecules will get substituted by this ligand and we will get this complex MLn times, and then n moles of water will be released. Now what will be the stability constant? So stability constant will be the product of concentration of the products to that of reactants. Now in this case we have neglected this concentration of water because water is acting as solvent. So that's why we haven't written this over here, right? Rest, this will be stability constant. So in this case concentration of water is ignored, being it is solvent. Now for the same complex, when there is formation, so step by step its value of stepwise stability constant is written, K1, K2, Kn times. So for the first step, MH2n times, one ligand is added, right? So what will happen? One of the water molecule, because coordination number has to remain same, so one water will be taken out and ligand will get added. So ML H2O n minus 1 plus one water molecule is released. Now the stability constant K1 will be, again the water is in excess, so that's why we are not taking its concentration into consideration. Okay, so this is for K1 for the first stability constant for the first step. Then in the same manner second water molecule is liberated or released, so it will be K2 in the same manner till the last water molecule is released and we get the product. So we will get Kn, nth, right, whatever is the final coordination of the complex. So now in this case K1, this K1, K2 up to Kn is called as stepwise stability constants. Okay, we call them as stepwise stability constants. The same thing is here, M plus L, so ML formation takes place. This will be K1 stability stepwise, first step stability constant, then in the same manner second step when two ligands are added, then in the same manner when n ligands are added, right? Now K1 in K2 and Kn, so they will be called as overall stability constants or overall formation constants, which is represented by beta and n times. This is overall stability constant, and which will be equal to the product of the stepwise stability constants, right? So it's given, complex 1, complex 2 stability constants are given, right? Then if we take the log of this overall stability constant, so it will be log beta n equals to log k1 plus log k2 plus log k3 plus log kn. Now let us take one example, that is tetraamine copper 2 ion. In this case, step 1, Cu2 positive will combine with ammonia, will result in the formation of CuNH3, 2 positive. Okay. Then K1 is written for this, and the value of K1 was found to be 1.478 into 10 to the power 4, or its log value will be 4.25. In the same manner, when second ligand is added, that is NH3, so again K2 stepwise stability constant, and then log K2, so it is 3.61. In the same manner, for the third step, the K3 value and log K3 can be predicted. It is 3. Likewise, step 4, till the formation of the complex tetraamine copper 2 ion, so log 4 value is 2.4. Now what will be the overall stability constant? So in order to find overall stability constant, so we have to get the concentration, which comes out to be 1.2 into 10 to the power 13. This is stepwise overall stability constant, overall stability constant, and the log value is 13.8. right? Now if we add these values, log 1, log 2, log k1, log k2, log k3, log k4, so it comes out to be same, that is 13.28. So this is how we can predict the overall stability constant for the complexes. Towards end, there are applications of coordination compounds or chemistry. So they are helpful in analytical chemistry, in predicting the type of species complexes. Okay, analytical chemistry, qualitative and quantitative aspects, when we have to predict that which species are present. So as per their coloration properties we can predict. Then in metallurgy, that is Mond process, Van Arkel method, when carbonyls they are used, right? Then in biological system also these are used, complexes are used, industries में इनका use होता है, and medicines for the dangerous diseases such as cancer, or canceric cisplatin. I think if you remember this platinum complex is used, cis form of this is used for the treatment of cancer. So just go through the applications of coordination compounds, and with this we complete this chapter.